Welcome back to Ada County Clink Chronicles. Today we're going over the 8th of August 2025. Let's get right into it. For some reason this didn't load. William, man, you look way too happy. Age 37, booked in at 11:07 p.m. Felony, controlled substance. Felony, unlawful possession of firearm by convicted felon. Felony for burglary and misdemeanor for resisting or obstructing officers. Is this the face of crazy? I'd be having probably the worst day of my life catching all these charges, you know? If you just like woke up and like all of a sudden you're getting booked in for this stuff. What in the world? That's craziness. Ada County Sheriff, you guys rock. Good job. One less drug user, thief, and violent person off the street. Abijah, age 70, booked in at 10:47 p.m. last night. Felony, controlled substance, misdemeanor for misdemeanor times 1, 2, 3, and a failure to appear. Yeah, great job. Garden City PD also pulling in another drug user off the street. Loving it. Brennan, age 36, booked in at 10:10 p.m. Were you wearing makeup? Misdemeanor for driving under the influence. He may have been coming from some kind of cosplay party, as there looks like there's mascara or something, and something was on his face too. Looks like he's having a bad night, which, I mean, is reasonable. I would be too. You're okay, Brennan? Okay? One misdemeanor. Looks like you don't have any others, at least here listed. Just get that thing fixed and do not drink and drive. Abraham, age 38, booked in at 9:13 p.m. Misdemeanor for driving under the influence. Yeah, could have had a couple beers. Same deal. Just fix it, man. Don't drink and drive. Dylan, age 33, booked in at 8:39 p.m. Misdemeanor for driving under the influence excessively. Yeah, see, this would have been me. Thankfully, I've never got one of these. But, yeah, Dylan, now you know, dude, 33 years old. This looks like your first charge, possibly. Grab an Uber, man. Grab a Lyft. Robert, age 60, booked in at 8:23 p.m. Failure to appear. Christopher, age 24, booked in at 8:13 p.m. 2 counts of felony forgery. Also a failure to appear. What are you doing, Christopher? Whatever you're trying to steal, you're not very good at it. See? Just pick a different career path. Cedric, age 23, booked in at 5:03 p.m. Failure to appear. Jennifer, age 18, booked in at 4:18 p.m. Failure to appear for juvenile. Interesting. Looks like we are having another website issue. This should be showing me the last 5 days, and we are only to 4:18 p.m. last night. Last 24 hours. Oh, that's right. I did just refresh. All right, let's see if we can find where we're at. Sorry for the technical difficulties. Sometimes I'm an idiot. There we go. Okay, we just finished up with Jennifer. Failure to appear for juvenile something. Segutone, age 32, booked in at 3:57 p.m. Felony for murder 1. That's an out of county warrant, so he must have killed somebody somewhere else. All right? I don't know. Either way, what are you doing, man? We don't see murder 1 here in Ada County at all, which we're pretty lucky for. We see a lot of strangulations, a lot of idiots that can't leave when the business owner tells them to leave. But murder 1? Yikes. Well, you're right where you belong. Great job, Boise City PD. Diana, age 39, booked in at 2:45 p.m. Felony, children, injury to child. The kids just do not deserve this stuff, you know? That's why we have these laws. And hopefully she learns her lesson before she's allowed back around children again. Sorry, I have to kind of keep pausing. I've got some head cold right now. Real fun stuff. Jacob, age 41, booked in at 2:20 p.m. Probation violation. Michelle? Don't know. Age 59, booked in at 1:45 p.m. Misdemeanor for misdemeanor. She looks pissed. I mean pissed. I would be too if I had to get locked up because I'd failed to appear for my first citation. You kind of deserve it, lady. Christian, age 22, booked in at 1:28 p.m., failure to appear. Petra, age 33, booked in at 1 p.m., probation violation, and a failure to appear. Both out-of-county warrants. Man, she's a beautiful woman, too. Obviously a troublemaker, you know? That happens. Eric, age 40, booked in at 12:45 p.m., misdemeanor for driving without privileges. Come on, Eric. You're 40 years old. You know better. Should be a pretty easy fix. I think that's a pretty easy thing to fix. Unless your driver's license was taken away from you for another charge that is more difficult. I don't know. We're just guessing at this point. Cynthia, age 58, booked in at 12:32 p.m., felony controlled substance, and of course, misdemeanor for drug paraphernalia. What are you doing, Cynthia? Look, another point for the Ada County Sheriff's Office. Love it. Great job, guys. Yeah, that's one less drug dealer. Landon, age 18, booked in at 10:59 a.m. Didn't even get his lunch. Felony, 3 of them. Jeez. 2 counts of malicious injury to property and a felony for grand theft. Looks like he's got some tears a little bit in his eyes, you know? I don't know. Maybe he's starting to figure out how serious this is and how not okay destroying somebody else's stuff is times 2 and stealing somebody else's stuff. Gosh. Landon, you're still young, man. Turn it around, buddy. Find something you love to do. A lot of guys like to play video games and get paid for it, which is crazy to me. Memby, age 32, booked in at 10:50 a.m., failure to appear. Kevin, age 62, booked in at 10:42 a.m., misdemeanor domestic violence without traumatic injury against a household member. Yikes. Come on, Kevin. Again, this thankfully is just a misdemeanor, not like a serious or with traumatic injury. But, yeah, man, this is not the place to get any kind of violent. Patrick, age 19, booked in at 9:31 a.m., 3 counts of failure to appear. All 3 warrants, all 3 misdemeanors. Yeah. John, age 26, booked in at 4:08 a.m., misdemeanor for driving under the influence. Dude, that's a pretty late hour to be driving. So were you trying to sober up some more before you tried to head home or something? I don't know. I mean, I get wanting to do that, but look at this. This all could have been solved with a quick couple of clicks of your finger on your phone now, you know? That's how easy it is. You don't even have to give them your address. They just know where your phone's at. Donnie, age 25, booked in at 2:17 a.m., felony domestic violence with traumatic injury. Jeez, man. You got such a nice face, Donnie. I would never have expected you'd be beating the crap out of somebody at your home. Ugh. Well, if you can't control yourself and that little smirk, you have a good time in there, buddy. David, age 61, booked in at 1:36 a.m., felony, controlled substance, misdemeanor, possession of marijuana, misdemeanor, of course, for drug paraphernalia, and a misdemeanor for driving without privileges. David, 61, come on, you know better. There are license plate readers everywhere. They can pull up without even an officer behind you and find out if you're driving a vehicle and like your name's on the on that car's registration, and it pulls up, says this guy doesn't have any or has a suspended license. They have the technology, man. You can't drive. I mean, we're not even getting involved here with the drug problem you got. Jeez. Ada County Sheriff, again, for the win. Loving it. One less drug user. I'm glad that we can even use this to catch these guys, because it's terrible. What if your kids get a hold of that? What if like a 2-year-old gets a hold of it and gets killed? You know, that's crazy. Do not do drugs. Emily, age 24, booked in at 12:59 a.m., felony domestic violence with traumatic injury. Jeez, what is up with these gals? Super young, baby-faced, looking completely innocent, and, you know, acting like this. Straight up domestic violence with traumatic injury. She was beating the crap out of somebody. Oh, jeez. Well, that's it for the 8th of August, 2025. Thank you for the subs. Thanks for hanging out. And I will see you guys next time.